Welcome back. I'm Gregorios, the editor.
And I'm Heavy Weapons Guy.
Welcome back to New Year News, the news report for everything that occurs in the future. We have a lot of new things to report for 2024, but we will also glimpse into the 22nd century. But first things first, the London Underground will undergo a massive renovation. This project, nicknamed the New Tube, will introduce new and improved trains with improved space, speed and accessibility, with wider doors and walk-through carriages. The new automated trains will also be complemented with improved platforms that allow for step-free access, so you no longer have to mind the gap. The platform edge will feature barriers like the ones seen on the Jubilee line. The new tube will be developed on the Piccadilly line first, boosting its capacity by up to 60%, but it will extend to the Bakerloo, Central, Waterloo and City lines as well.
On the 8th of April 2024, a total solar eclipse will occur over North America. The eclipse begins in the late afternoon on the Pacific coast and works its way across Mexico, the United States and Canada, before moving over the Atlantic Ocean. The entire phenomenon will last nearly 4 hours.
In May of 2024, NASA will conduct the first manned flight of the Orion spacecraft. After the unmanned launch of Artemis 1 in 2022, Artemis 2 will embark on a 10-day-long mission to the Moon. After spending 2 days in high Earth orbit, the spacecraft will perform a 74,000-kilometer high flyby on the Moon before returning. This mission will be a setup for Artemis 3, a future mission where 2 astronauts will spend a week on the lunar surface.
Canada's first super tall skyscraper, the One, will finish completion next year. This Toronto skyscraper will stand at 309 meters, and its 85 floors will be used for residential and retail purposes. But this isn't the only thing. Another building, Pinnacle 1 Yonge, will also finish completion, with 95 floors and 312 meters. These 2 buildings are the first in the line of many skyscrapers that will be built during the following years.
Bioelectronics are now commonly used to treat arthritis, a joint disorder which affects over 20 million people just in the United States alone. Back in 2014, the earliest form of such a device was a pacemaker-styled implant located in the patient's neck, which sent out electrical impulses that reduced activity in the spleen, producing less chemicals and immune cells that cause inflammation. By 2024, the technology advanced to the point where the implants have been miniaturized to the size of a rice grain, improving cost and efficiency. It is now utilized by many countries as routine treatment, but it does not end at arthritis. Developments have also been made to treat asthma and diabetes.
Car-sharing programs have reached a member base of 23.4 million people worldwide, and a global revenue of $6.5 billion. In the 2000s, car-sharing made its debut, where people rent cars for a very short amount of time. Over the decades, the programs spread all over the world, inviting users with many benefits, such as free parking in city centers, mobile apps, electric and self-driving vehicles.
We just got the word that Gregorios the creator is ready to give his report of the 22nd century. For real this time. We'll switch to him, so is there anything else to know about the next century?
By the mid-22nd century, many space probes have reached neighboring star systems, with the shortest travel time being only a few decades, as the fastest probes can travel at a significant fraction of the speed of light. These space probes utilize all kinds of experimental engine systems, like antimatter and nuclear pulse propulsion, among many others. They are mostly operated by artificial intelligence, and its many instruments include a force field projector for incoming debris. They will be used to gather data from our neighboring systems and its exoplanets. You mentioned the solar eclipse in America earlier. Well, in 2151 there's going to be a total solar eclipse in London, the first time in over 400 years. By the 2100s, the Moon has been thoroughly explored. In turn, most operations shifted from the scientific to the commercial, as the gigantic lunar caves are being used to accommodate underground cities. These lunar cities can be sealed off from the dangerous surface that's subject to radiation, meteorites and extreme temperatures, and create a pressurized, breathable environment. More and more people are setting their new homes on the moon, creating their own society and culture. Earth is busy sending their infrastructure to the lunar colonies as the planet is undergoing a de-industrialization project, a global effort to put an end to the environmental crisis. And all that effort paid off, because in 2190, nitrous oxide has fallen back to pre-industrial levels. Nitrous oxide, a powerful greenhouse gas, had increased to dangerously high levels as a byproduct of the Industrial Revolution. While carbon dioxide was reduced, nitrous oxide remained at high levels during the 2100s. It wasn't until the second half of the 22nd century that efforts were made to reduce emission, and by 2190 it has fallen back to natural levels. Along with stopping global warming and ozone damage, the air quality has risen dramatically.
Now we return to 2024, where people have the capability to 3D print clothing at a very low cost. With 3D printers becoming widespread, people can download a variety of clothing designs from the internet and print them out, only having to pay for the materials. This advancement in 3D printing technology is making sweatshop work obsolete. And finally, SpaceX's Starlink network is reaching full capacity, with the last of the satellites being set up. This project, conducted by SpaceX, consists of 4,400 satellites set in low Earth orbit to vastly improve internet speeds with a latency of about 25 milliseconds, which rivals cable connections. After the completion of Starlink, the company will also be looking to set up a similar network of satellites around Mars. And that's all the news for 2024. Thank you for watching, and we all wish you a happy new year.
Good work, and it's still long before midnight. We have all the time to party.